Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I've been out here in the shop today doing some puttering and working on the body. I have the body pretty much welded together, nothing fancy now. I'm not doing any Bondo work or anything. This is a rat rod after all, but I finished welding these pieces up here, put some fillers in here and welded it, ground it down, and my cowl posts are bolted from the bottom now. Let me see. Yeah, can you see the bolt in there? Oh, I didn't get that one tight, did I? Oh yeah, it's tight. It's up in there. I got to do some grinding. That little blob here, if I get my finger up in there, that little blob right there is where I had it tack welded before, and I think over here too. Yeah, I thought at first it looked like the bolt was sticking down through. That's all tacked in there, and I welded a nut into the bottom of the post. And whoa, let me get back up here. My legs are the end of the day, you know. And some of you will remember that I had welded in this fender piece, and I needed to fill in down in there. Well, I've done that, and don't look at the welding. This is what I used. The remnants of an old-time rubbish wastebasket. It was too grungy. My wife didn't want to use it in the house. So I'm wishing that it was a little bit heavier gauge. That stuff is flimsy, flimsy, flimsy. I might have been better off using tin can. And to make things worse, let me get down here. See, oh yeah, see the pear in there? To make things worse, I didn't realize it, but I was finishing up welding, and it was spattering. Well, it was spattering most of the time I was doing it. I didn't realize that I had run out of argon. Yeah, so my welds look terrible. So I'm going to tell you, a little bit of seam sealer goes a long way. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I gotta do some cleanup. I haven't done any cleaning up in here. This was tacked on a long time ago, and that was the first time I tried doing any sheet metal at all. I've never done body work with a MIG welder. I always used gas, you know, a set of torches for welding panels together, and I don't have any of those anymore. But we were able to take that panel, and maybe it was a blessing that it was as thin as it was, because I was actually able to bend it around this corner and to get it fit in there. Of course, all of this is going to get buried anyway behind the seat. And I put in a cross member here, and there's another cross member back in here that I can bolt my seat to. The seat. Well, yeah, I can bolt the seat to, and I can bolt my body to, because the body is only bolted up on the front right now. So that's what I've been doing. And tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And I hope you all will enjoy your time with family and friends. And don't forget what it's all about. It is, after all, a day of Thanksgiving, giving thanks to Jehovah God for his provision. Initially, we think of the pilgrims way back in the 1600s, and back in Massachusetts, where I'm from. And the Indians, and they all got together and gave thanks for the bountiful harvest after the first year. They had lost quite a few people during that first winter, because they were totally unprepared for it. But so, if you've been blessed during this past year, give thanks for it. And I want to give thanks right here and now. I want to thank each and every one of you. You are all a real blessing to me, whether you know it or not, you are. And you're a large part my inspiration for the various projects that I do. So, Lord willing, I will get back out here on Friday, and actually, the only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to drill my mounting holes down through here. I did fill in the bolt holes where the wheelbarrow originally bolted to the wood frame and so forth. So I'm going to drill a couple holes in here for bolts and a couple of holes back here, and maybe make a seat bracket. And then the Goofy Cart body is going down into my basement, where I can do some sanding and maybe give it a coat of paint. And before I do that, of course, I've got to fit my dashboard. That will be one of the next things you see, is the dashboard being fitted into our cowl. So until then, I hope again that you all will have a blessed day tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, and I'm looking forward to being with you again real soon. Oh yeah, I got my gauge cleaned up a little bit, so now you can see it says radiator temperature gauge right on it. And probably this tube is hollow. I was thinking that this tube was solid, but it is not. It is hollow. So I'm going to figure out a way to just make it sit down in there tight. I'll probably put a shim in there of some kind. I have some brass stock. I could wrap some brass around it and stuff it down in there, and that would hold it tight enough, and maybe make a little bracket to come off of here or here, just to keep it from swinging back and forth. But yeah, that will be one of our gauges. You know, a lot of these hot rods got gauges mounted on their motors, so we're going to be a real hot rod. Thanks again. Bye now.